Welcome back to Adelante. It's called the Partnership for College Completion, and while some of its focus is on students, they are devoting some time to the colleges, what they can do to close the achievement gap. Joining us to tell us a little bit more about this, Kyle Westbrook. He is the Executive Director of Partnership for College Completion, and Eduardo Garza, who is the President of Richard J. Daley College. Welcome. Both of you. Okay, let's talk about this because we are seeing students graduate high school at a larger rate than ever before, Latino students specifically. They are going on to college, and then something's happening that they're not graduating at the numbers that we would like to see. Why?
So I'll back up and sort of give some of the statistics about really what's happening in Illinois, which is not too different from what's happening in other states around the country. On any given year, if really 7 out of 10 white students will graduate within, the on time from college. That rate drops down to about 5 out of 10 for Latino students, 4 out of 10 for African American students. And it's a complex mixture of reasons why students aren't completing. We know that there are students who do not complete because of financial reasons, and in the state of Illinois,
I would think that would be the number one reason.
It's usually the one that is highest reported, particularly for low-income students, that when students complete surveys around why they didn't complete, finance is usually at the top of that list. And we know we haven't made it easy in the state of Illinois for low-income students to be able to afford college, and so there are state policy levers that need to be pulled to increase the amount of the MAP award, which funds low-income students in Illinois, to not only increase the amount of the award, but the number of students that receive it. There was a time not too long ago when every low-income student that applied and was eligible for a MAP award received an award. And those awards used to cover the entire tuition for a state public university.
And
that is very different now.
What is the number now? What's the percentage
So right now, only about 40% of the students who are eligible for the award receive the award.
Are eligible and apply, only 40% receive
the award. And the award itself only actually covers about a third of public university tuition. So we know that finances are key to why our students are not able to succeed. Many students are able to enroll that first year. Life happens for students, and then they just can't complete.
Let me bring Eduardo into the conversation. Are you noticing that it's finances?
It is. By far, financing has to be the biggest issue as to why students don't complete. There's also social and cultural capital items that are taking place. Very many variables, but finances for sure is probably the most important factor as to why students don't complete.
And when we talk about the achievement gap, do you notice that Latino African American students, are they not well trained to go into college? Meaning, do they have the coursework that they need to understand some of their studies and some of the books and some of the reading? And
yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that nationally we still have a long ways to go in terms of making sure that all of our students are college ready. But we like to think of the situation a little bit differently. We think about the situation as, are our colleges ready for students?
And that means what?
And that means robust sets of advising supports for students. That means, are our colleges and our state policy environment allowing students to be able to afford to go to colleges? And what we see is in the city of Chicago, where through the Star Scholarship and other policy levers that Chicago Public Schools and city colleges have invested in, that some of those opportunities are there for students, but that's a local issue, and it is really about the city of Chicago. Whereas when you go to some of our suburban areas where there isn't that strong coupling between the K-12 district and the city colleges, students aren't able to afford it. And so there are things that can happen on the colleges, that the colleges themselves, through really robust sets of advising supports, et cetera, can do, but also some of the things that our state needs to do.
And you've been working with the program for now a year or two?
That's right.
Okay, so what have you noticed in your school, and how has it helped you? Have you noticed a change in numbers?
Sure. Well, the partnership has been a great asset because they've been able to provide the framework as to how to look at these problems that we face day in and out at the college. Community colleges, for example, in the city of Chicago, we were single digits in completion rates. Now we're hovering over 30%. Because we're
just
intentional.
In the last year?
Between the last 5 years, the last year, 2 to 3 percentage points, which is statistically significant, thanks to the work and the framework that the partnership has allowed for us to work together with different colleges and universities. Intrusive advising is a big item. we have to remember that there's social and cultural capital items that students come to us with at the community college. So how do we meet the students where they're at? How do we take an asset-based approach, look at the families, look at what families can do when they're talking about financial aid, which is a big problem. Pathways is another one. How many oftentimes do we hear, I'm taking the wrong courses, spending so much money? So we've addressed that issue with the partnership, making sure students have a very robust documents that show them exactly what the next 2 year looks like for them.
With the roadmap.
That's right.
Okay. If there's somebody at home watching, a student, a potential student, and they want to take advantage of some of the work that you're doing, can they call you?
They can call us and we can direct them to, really if it's a community college student, we can make sure that they have the pathway and the connections to that community college. If they're looking for resources, we can connect them to some of our partners that are student-facing organizations in the city and in the region. We welcome those kinds of calls and those kinds of
partnershipfcc.org. Did I get that right? Partnershipfcc.org. Thank you so much to the both of you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay.